All right, good evening, y'all, and welcome to RockYouth RockTruth, where we rock truth for absolutely nothing at all. RockYouth RockTruth is a podcast that is cross-cultural response to the economic climate and social crisis negatively impacting our young adults today. RockYouth RockTruth is designed to serve the internal needs of our lost youth while feeding the spiritual needs they didn't know they have, needs that impact, affect, and infect the outcomes of their future selves. We seek to build, apprehend, and maintain the gifts, purposes, and relevance of their kingdom existence in their environments, surrounding communities, and the world through execution of their craft. We are here to inspire, enlighten, and highlight our upcoming and established local young kings and queens of character while promoting Black consciousness and awareness of not just who they are, but to whom they belong. Y'all, it's, you know what? I'm gonna just say this, ladies. The old one, the original introduction, I liked it better. I didn't even go on.
Listen, it's not funny because I can tell you're still getting used to.
I'm over here fumbling words. And
No, listen, girl, it's so funny, right? Because before like I said, I didn't know if you would still be driving. So, like, I literally was like, I didn't know if I had to read it. So, I literally, like, I can read. Okay. Thank God I can read. But I was practicing reading that because I'm like, I wanted to flow and it
right, I'm over here
makes, I don't
scratching up
know.
like a record. Scratching up. I'm putting commas where they're not supposed to be.
It's a lot, but I think you sound good when you're doing it. Like she said,
Yeah.
you're still getting used to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cause I'm just like, yeah. We gonna rock y'all. But hey y'all, last time I saw y'all, I was 22.
Yes, you are. You feel older.
Yes, you done crossed over.
I've crossed over to 23.
But I mean, how does it feel? Does it feel different than 22?
You know what? I ain't even gonna hold you. It really do.
Oh,
It
well,
really do. It feel like, yeah, like I'm closer to 25 or something. And 25, that's when, the people start, that's when you got to start really cutting off from your parents and insurance and this and that. So,
yo, that just happened to my sister. Like, literally, it was not even funny. My mom, like, yo, you better go get, you better go to dentist, you better go to doctor, whatever, whatever, because come January, you off, sister. Like, hello, hey, sissy, hey,
hey,
Sheena.
Miss Sheena.
Hey.
My sister, she had went through it last year because she had just turned 26. So my auntie, she's just like, yeah, you better go. You better go get your new pair of glasses. Go get your dental cleaning. And I'm just over here because me and Grammy, we were just talking about it, life insurance and stuff. And I was like, well, I guess I better start thinking about adulting with that. And she was like, well, I got you on. I was like, you got me? I was like, I know nothing about it. I'm good for another
Well, it's good
We'll
to
worry
think
about
about
it
it
later.
early, regardless of whatever age you are. So it's good to just keep up on your health so you stay good and healthy.
Man, I'm just very grateful. But I am feeling the heat. I am feeling it, y'all. I really am.
Hey, you getting you a good old reality check. But it's all good. It's good. So how was y'all week? But look, y'all week, because we have not seen each other faces in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. It don't seem like it's been 2 weeks though.
It don't.
So how was y'all two
You go
weeks
first, Miss May. You go
weekend?
first.
Well, first of all, time flew by. It doesn't seem like it's been 2 weeks, but it has been. I've just been trying to stay warm because here in Pennsylvania, it's been snowing one day, ice another day the sun's coming out. So you don't know what season you're going to get hit with. But otherwise, we've been blessed because we're here for another day. So I can't complain too much.
Man, we've been blizzard out in Indiana. Okay, we've been getting hit hit. It's been snowing. You would think it's been like 40 days, 40 nights. We've been getting snow. But you know what? It ain't really been like that cold. We've been getting like nonstop snow for the past couple days, but it ain't really been like no wind chills, just snow, like real heavy snow, but it ain't really that slick either. And then y'all know last week I was just getting like I got shot up, y'all. I got so many vaccinations for my class, for my clinicals and stuff, because I know I'm supposed to start today, but I didn't even go today. That was a whole different thing. I've been up since 5:30 this morning to get there early because I knew it was gonna be crazy. And the hospital was acting like they didn't know I was coming. The information place was just the information dude was really being rude to me, and I'm just like, well, I'm a student, sir, so like direct me. But we got it all figured out and stuff. But due to other stuff, I'm probably not gonna start or go until maybe Friday or something. But I know that God is like doing something. It's probably something that I needed to miss or needed not to be there for. So yeah, but everything is still in play. I was really excited today. I feel like I was the only student up there really thirsty. I had my lunch pail. I I made my lunch last night. I was thirsty, y'all, but to
No,
God be the
you
glory.
excited. That's good.
To God be the glory.
Yes.
What about you, Mr. Tay?
I've been good. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. I have no complaints. I really am like, I'm really so good. I'm so good because God's good.
I done got my braids put in. You done took your braids out.
Girl, I'm
I
gonna be
done went from
honest with
22
you.
to 23. Things can happen in 2 weeks. Things can really
Yeah, it
happen.
appears
Listen,
to be so. You look like a whole new person now. Done grew up on us.
right. Hello, face. Wait, hello, lady. Somebody's saying hello to us. Hi. I'm sorry because it just says Facebook user. So hello.
Pennsylvania is cold. Gary,
Right.
Indiana is my birthplace. Man, it's cold here too though. Slick. And you know
Somebody.
what? Y'all know what really make me mad?
What?
Every winter. Every winter, everybody's out here looking brand new. Like
What they supposed to look? Oh, what is
like
it?
like snow. Why is we getting snow in the
Tis-
Yeah,
north?
it's that time of year. It's supposed to.
I mean, you would think that everybody migrated from like Arizona or Texas or something, and they never seen it. Like they didn't know it was coming. That's what you would think. That's what you would think. But I mean, hey, it's been crazy. It's a whole bunch of crazy drivers out there too.
I
Crazy
saw this
drivers.
motorcycle guy I was behind yesterday. He was swerving, and then next thing you know, his bike went out from underneath of him. I was 2 cars behind him. So the car that was in front of me, they slowed down, checked on him, made sure he was okay. Then they took off, and by the time I got up to him, he was getting up off the ground, and he was started walking his bike, and the car behind me actually got out of their car to help him. But that was scary. It was bad.
And he's riding motorcycles in the snow?
I guess he didn't know because
I don't want to hear that no more.
I didn't even know that it was supposed to snow yesterday.
He didn't know. We're finna be in February.
No, I can't listen. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I
Our
don't
sound
watch
went
the
out on
news.
us.
I don't watch the news. So like if my mom be like, "Oh yeah, the storm tomorrow," I'll be like, "What snow?" Like so I'm gonna be honest, like until I see it on my car or somebody else tells me like, yeah, it's supposed to snow, I don't be knowing. I don't be knowing. I'm gonna be honest. Tamoy, can you hear?
I can hear.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't
Miss May,
know.
what say something?
I don't know. Well, we'll get it. It'll get together.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Facebook user, y'all, go in and okay.
But yeah, I don't know why he was on that motorcycle anyways. I'm not even gonna hold you.
L-
Because even if it was a snow, it's just too cold. Like
But you got they're about their life, like literally,
Yeah,
like
and that's
bike
what
life.
she said. How he just got up. Like some of them really, they do that. Like so when they fall, because I feel like if you ride a motorcycle, like when you was being trained to ride a bike, that's all you was doing was falling and skidding your knee and getting back up and scraping your elbow and doing things like that. Cause I want a motorcycle. I used to be a bike rider when I was a kid. I was riding bikes and popping wheelies and getting on the back and vroom vroom. But I'm not finna ride no motorcycle in no snow. That's not me.
Yeah, I don't think he knew that it was going to snow because it was kind of
I'm not riding in no
it was
cold
spur of the
either.
moment.
Summertime. That's why you catch my bike out. You know how when your grandparents pull out the good car only on Sundays or something? That's when my bike will come out in the summertime and it get put back up at the end of summer. Hey, but like you said he slipped and then it's like he got back up, started walking his bike. Yeah,
He really did. If
they
you saw it, it
hardcore.
looked like something from a cartoon. It was
People like
like,
that are hardcore. I give it
yeah,
to
it was
them.
scary though.
We just going bypass. We going to act like it didn't even happen. I was on mute, y'all. Yes, but I'm not getting on a motorcycle when it's sunny outside. I'm not getting on the motorcycle when it's snowy outside. I'm not getting on a motorcycle at all. Like at all. Like I literally like when I see people on it, I'm like, oh, the blood of Jesus. Because like I'm
Some of
not.
them do be gone though. I mean, like pushing.
I just
They
like,
going like 200 or something.
and don't get me wrong, you know, even in a car, things can go wrong. But I mean, but you're in, you got that around you. In a motorcycle, you just open like no. And my brother has a motorcycle, and it's not even funny. But he only rides his when it gets nice. And oh my goodness, I'll be like, God, from the crown of his head to the soles of his feet, because seriously.
Hardcore, I'm telling you.
But ladies, we are about to do our youth highlight, and I was so excited when I came across the story. First of all, let me pull up a picture of our youth highlight for this week. He is the cutest thing, y'all. So his name is Abraham O. Look at him, y'all. So cute. So cute. Okay. Right. Wasn't he so cute? So let me read why Abraham is our youth highlight for this week. It says, when life hands you a miracle, you can bask in its glow or you can pay it forward. Abraham O was 12 years old when he and his family learned that without a bone marrow transplant, the rare blood disease he'd been born with might prove fatal. Fast forward 1 year, one successful transplant and an intense schedule of chemotherapy later, and Abraham is out of the hospital and his prognosis is promising. But that's not the only good news. Over the course of his illness, Abraham learned he'd qualify as a recipient for a Make-A-Wish. And for you guys that don't know what Make-A-Wish is, it is this amazing organization that grants children with chronic illnesses wishes. It's a charitable organization whose purpose is to make the dreams of seriously ill children come true, one wish at a time. Rather than something for himself, Abraham chose to show thanks for his good fortune by passing it along to others. On their way home from one of his many doctor's appointments, the Mississippi teen shared his decision with his mom, Miriam. The wish Abraham asked for was to feed the homeless in his area one day a month for an entire year. While she couldn't have been more proud of Abraham, Miriam did wonder if perhaps he wouldn't rather have something for himself like a PlayStation. But really, she wasn't surprised by her son's selflessness. Prior to his diagnosis, Abraham and his family regularly volunteered in their community, handing out hot meals to the homeless. He says, it was always a good thing to do, and that's what I grew up doing. what I grew up doing. So I go back to my roots and I do what I was taught to do. Y'all, that is just, and here's a picture of him. Another picture of him. Look, Abraham, listen, this is when you training your child up in the way they should go, okay? That's what this is. So that is why he is our youth highlight, because that's just so amazing. The heart that he has already to help other people, that he was blessed and he gave his blessing away. And that's what we're blessed to eat, a blessing. So with that being said, Mary, what is our verse of the week?
Our verse comes from Proverbs 19:17, and it says, "If you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and he will repay you."
Yes,
Amen.
Lord.
That's so true.
Yes. So shout out to Abraham, shout out to his mother, Miriam, and whoever else is helping raise that young man, because y'all are doing an amazing job.
I think that is so special. That is
Yes.
very special. And the Make-A-Wish, the Make-A-Wish place, they've been doing that for a really long time, because when I was in high school, and because y'all know I played violin for 7 years, and we had went to Florida. We had went to Florida and we had did something with that. It was something with the Make-A-Wish. We had did something, very much something. And I remember it because we was taking pictures and we was at the Disney place, and it was just a whole bunch of very fun, like, and just kids. It'd be sad, when kids be sick and stuff, because I grew up a sickly child. So I understand when they be just feeling all like weak and stuff. But for him to actually just have the strength to go and give, it's very beautiful. But
Right. And
that's what the word said. The word said.
and while he was in, and you see how like he's in the midst of going through something himself, but yet his heart is still on other people. And that's beautiful. Hey sis, look, she said we cute things. Look what she said to us.
I know. And that's exactly that's what exactly I was thinking about when I was looking at my hair. For real.
Well, can y'all believe we rocking and rolling, y'all? It's look, 6:26 on me, amazing. 5:26 on Tamoy's, and 5:26 on some of your end, and 6:26 on some of your end. We just hit 26. Whatever hour, wherever you at, it's 26 after, y'all.
A different hour, but the same minutes.
Seriously. All right, so Tamoy, what we finna do?
We finna cut into a commercial break, and then after we commercial, we are going to bring in our guest, Miss Quisha King. She is going to drop some stuff on us. So be ready, because I'm ready. Hey y'all, truthers, Miss Jate.
It's Monday for real. It's Monday for real in my life, because I done started talking like 10 times. Muted. Hallelujah, anyhow. Tamoy.
Yes.
What? Listen, so it's not funny, Selena. Like, have my thank you, God. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. Hallelujah, anyhow. So, without further ado,
Ready.
we are about to bring in Miss and Miss Quisha King, y'all.
Miss
Hey,
Keisha, Miss
Hey, Queen, how are
Keisha.
you?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
We are good. We are good. We are
Yo,
glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here. I really am.
Okay, so Miss Keisha King, you are here for us to okay. For us to highlight you, tell the people exactly who you are and what it
Well,
is you do.
my name is Markeisha. That's my full name, but I love being called Keisha. Anybody who calls me Markeisha, I look at them kind of strange, but my name is Keisha. I am 44 years old. And my background, I met Selena maybe, 3 weeks ago? Close to a month ago at this awesome Ashley Stewart confidence builder that we had hosted by Tammy. And we had a brief talk. I ran into some children that used to go to the Boys and Girls Club, which is where I worked for over a decade, dealing with children, mentoring children. And, she contacted me. We were in each other's inbox talking about today, so this is why I'm here, just trying to rock with you ladies and see what you all have in store for me.
Miss Keisha, I had
Yes.
saw because I saw that you she had added you to our group, and I'm sorry if I because the groups we be blowing up. I have a lot of Telegram groups, and I'm sorry if I didn't get a chance to say welcome, Queen. But I
Thank
saw that you
you.
was in here. So you said that you were dealing with the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, for over a decade. And I also had background in the crisis center out here in Miller, Gary, Indiana.
Show Liz. Wow. I like the Boys and Girls Club. Well, I liked it when I was a child. I guess I'm not a child no more. Wow.
it's a really rewarding. If I would encourage anyone who wants to get experience in dealing with everyday life, to start, especially if you're a teenager, let that be your first job. I feel like a lot of teenagers, young kids might dip into, fast food, possibly retail. But if you really want to make an impact, positive impact, and you feel impacted as well, I mean, I would encourage anybody to make that a mission or volunteer, because I feel like those kids taught me a bundle package. What I mean by a bundle package is I learned patience, everything that the Bible entails. I had to learn that. I had to learn forgiveness. I had to learn, as we know, the patience. So, but yeah, that's kind of where I got my footing. And my background was always children. My first job was babysitting. Then I worked at daycare. So it just all kind of started lining up.
Well,
That's
that's
really good, and
good.
I can definitely see how it would help out with the fruits of the spirit, because it's like being around the different personalities of each of the kids, and then your personality mixes with them. So at the same time as you're teaching them, they're also teaching you.
Absolutely. Like you cannot, and this goes with, again, those kids taught me a lot, but this goes into everyday life. Um, you could not go into that environment in your feelings, because kids really do pick up your energy. So if I had a sucky day, I had to leave it in the car, and I had to empower and encourage them, and they were giving me things as well. Like I stated, I'm 40. So, to get down with these kids and see what they were into and tap into the brains of kids who weren't getting bullied like I was getting bullied. They have to deal with online bullying and all that. So I had to really and truly reinvent myself. So, I'm still at it though. I'm still at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just things are so different these days. Like you said, there's the online. They have to deal with it at school, and then if they're online, they'll have to deal with it there as well. So it's like you have to be there all around, emotionally, physically, to help build that individual back up.
Yes, yes. And
That
it's a
cyberbullying is
challenge.
no joke. That cyberbullying is no joke. I know the laws they keep changing with bullying. Like people can actually go to jail for that if people, if you say the wrong thing enough times. And man, that's why I be praying for the kids nowadays, because they only getting they only getting more smart. They are getting smarter. The kids,
Yeah,
the one that even the littler ones, 1 year olds and 2 year olds, they coming out smarter with a cell phone in their hand. So I mean, but that's good. I feel like with you even having your first job being babysitting, because my first job, like you said, was at McDonald's. I was in customer service for a really long time, and I feel like I didn't really learn much, but I can't say that it didn't teach me anything. But I can attest now that, being in college and becoming an adult, things like having the Boys and Girls Club and volunteering at like shelters and stuff looks way better on your resume for the things that you want to do, or that your leading you more towards your purpose than like fast food. Like with fast food, they really show you that you're replaceable. But I feel like when you build those bonds and relationships and things like Boys and Girls Club, or um, volunteering, giving to the needy, things like that, doing the canned goods, I feel like that's the forever thing, because those bonds and relationships are forever.
absolutely. They had me making a lot of programs and I went to the people. I went to the kids as I started embarking and programming. It was not about me. And at times when you deal with children, you have to understand it is a thankless job at times, and you have to be selfless. And so when they placed me in a position where I could, make programs and see what the children liked, it wasn't about me. Cause like I said, I'm old school. So my games are not theirs. So this is when it really became about the kids. And we had different things, like we would call it Tea Tuesday, where the kids would come in, the popular word for them is tea. They would come in and we created a safe space for them to, I'm using air quotes, say their tea. So, this became an outlet for them, because this is an after school program. So you figure they've been in school all day. They've been probably with a teacher that they didn't care for, or a student that they didn't care for. The Boys and Girls Club was your last stop. I made the last impression before their parents came and picked them up, and their parents didn't know if they was coming into a mad child, a sad child, or a happy, right? And so when we started swapping tea, a lot of information came out. And I'm glad that I got a chance to sit and listen to these kids. I didn't care what it was about. Everybody had a platform. I gave everyone 5 minutes. And I think that kind of was a form of therapy for them, because, again, as you stated, I don't know what they're going through. When they get on their phones, they're stuck on their phones, and they could be getting bullied at that moment, and I wouldn't even know. So at this time, I just encourage, hey, guys, let's put down our phones. What are you going through? Use your voice. And they instantly, eventually their heads popped up and they wanted to use their voice, and I got a chance to share with them my bullying experience. So one thing that I went into it saying is, I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to root for the underdog, and I wanted to understand the bully. And with doing that, these kids got a chance to just be free, So I really enjoyed that part of dealing with children.
And I think that's important, that you, even the bully needs attention, and not just the punishment, not just the tongue lashing, but like the bully needs attention too, because a lot of times that's why they're bullying. You know what I mean? That there's something else going on inside of them, and a lot of people don't take the time to address the bully and ask, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? You know what I mean? They're just punishing. That's just it. But if we deal with the root inside of the bully, then we kill the bullying. I even think about going a step further. Crime as adults.
Yeah.
It's just punishment. There's no help. There's no rehabilitation a lot of times. There's no reform. It's just punishment, punishment, punishment. How do we change the behavior? By talking to the one that's showing the behavior. You know what I mean? But it's just, you're terrible, you're terrible, you're terrible. No, talk. Figure out what's going on. Figure out why. But nobody cares why. It's just like, it was wrong. Okay, well, I'm quite sure they know that. Talk to the child. You know what I mean? Talk to both kids. But yeah, it's what you're doing is amazing. And it's funny because my first job was actually, I was in Pennsylvania. We have in the city where I live, we used to
What
have
y'all
a
got?
program. It's called YEP. Well, it was called YEP. It was called the Youth Employment Program, and you could start there when you're 14. And I was a camp counselor, and it was decent. And you can't wait to get your check, child, after them 2 weeks. But honey, walk into that pool. What was it? So the camp is like on between 3rd and 4th Avenue. We would walk them kids to the pool on 9th Avenue. 5.5 blocks. Okay. I don't know, remember how many kids, but a bunch of them. So you know it ain't just a straight walk, because somebody got to kick rocks on the way.
Yeah.
Somebody got to do cartwheels on the way. So however long it usually takes, it's taking longer. So that was only like, that walk was so hot, y'all. But it was so cool because you met so many different personalities. You met so many different personalities.
I feel like we've highlighted this topic too before with bullying on the show, and we talked and discussed how like it starts at home, how how the parents be bullying low key and high key, and kids, when you little like that, under the age of double digits, when you 9, 8, 7, 6, down there, like my Grammy said today, you like a sponge. You absorb so much information, so many actions and things. So when when they see like mommy treating daddy wrong, or daddy treating mommy wrong, or they treating each other wrong and treating the baby wrong, like, I mean, what can they do? They've become used to all of that. Now they're insecure, and even like they don't feel safe at home, have a safe space, so they feel like they have to go where they can go to school and prey on the weaker, where they feel like somebody is weaker, that they're bigger than, or somebody that doesn't speak up. So it's just good to talk to kids, like mainly the bullies, because they be the ones that really be needing the attention and just need a shoulder to cry on. I speak from experience. I know some kids. I know some. My sister used to be a bully. My younger sister, I used to be scared of her. She is crazy. But she just needed somebody. She just needed to talk.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can say, maybe, me being the older sister, I take the fault, because I used to be a type of person that was very isolated and just wanted to be by myself, and I'm gonna close my door and don't bother me. Older sister stuff. But now we just older, and it's just better. But yeah, she used to scare me. I mean, she is younger than me, like 4 years. So
You
look at me.
you come with some great pointers. Both of you all do. It is to me, in my experience, just being around kids. It really is tapping into why the bully is the bully. And I feel like now you really do have to check in on these kids. I also took time to, for a short time, volunteered at the suicide hotline, and I also worked, like I said, at the crisis center. The one thing that, if anybody is listening and anybody can take away is, like you said, continue to show attention. And if you can, highlight the positives. A lot of, like you said, the low key bullying from parents. If you sometimes if you are a child that, like, let's say, wants to play piano, and somebody in your family does not understand why you love playing that piano, it all of a sudden becomes your weird. Instead of embracing that, this is how I feel bullies are born, you know? So sometimes we have to highlight the things that is not popular to social media and the world, and embrace that, because it is about kids being overlooked. It is about them not being heard, and they do react in ways that sometimes, you want to send them away, you know, or whatever the case is. So if I could leave a message to anybody, if you are dealing with a child that some may deem difficult, at this point in time, have a continual talk. Kids are really like sponges, and they don't forget the good moments as well. So if you have time, make that conversation in the car, make that conversation at home, and be consistent with it. Excuse me, y'all.
I like that what you said about highlighting the positive, because so many people, like you said, if it is a bully and bullying that's going on, it's like we focus on the negative, but you need to bring out the positive as well so that you can build that person up. And from you working within those different organizations that you are in, that's a big help, because you're bringing that positive influence that they may not be having at home.
Yeah, I'm my little sister. She used to be, she used to be a bigger kid, you know, and she was born fat, and she was really raised fat, you know, and you know how it was a lot of us, so we used to bully, we used to tussle and stuff, but I think it just made her a very hot-headed kid, and she wasn't very level, and you know she just grew up and stepped up, and we stepped up, and we just became more positive, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, after I left for college, I do feel like all of our lives changed. I really do. People don't really talk about, you know, when your siblings, when you're being raised by these people your whole lives, and then out of nowhere they just leave. And I was the first one to leave, so I feel like it was a very tremendous change that shifted in the atmosphere of my home, and not even just for my siblings, but for my grandparents and then my mom, because like everybody was just, you know, everybody really like, you know, grew up or something. I don't know, like changed. I went to Indianapolis and I came back, and I was just like, wow. And now I'm here and I'm back, and it's nothing like it. It's really nothing like it. I mean, the positivity does not go over. It does not. And now that I have nephews, I make sure that even when they're scared, when they are crying, even though that they are wanting to, I make sure that they know that they are loved, that they are safe, that they are important. I make sure to look them in their eyes, because we are breaking generational curses. We really are. And
Absolutely.
I am not afraid. I'm not afraid to even check my brother when he not acting right, or making triggering me from doing things that is not right, because it really do be the young parents. It be the young parents. My mom was a young parent, and I feel like when you are in situations and don't really know how to talk to kids, or you know, when you forget that your kids are actually people and they have feelings and they're developing these things, and you don't really know how, or you're talking to them like somebody that know, it can become difficult and it can lead you astray. But now that my mom is older and she's an adult now, I think that she has also learned a lot of things, even from having her child mindset, because she was a child, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been talking. I'm so sorry,
No, I
but
mean, but you know what?
you
It's
really just hit me,
you hit
and I'm
some really
really
good valid
grateful.
points. And one of them was going away to school. And a lot of kids, start reacting when they start feeling a change. You were the older one. They were used to you being at home and then you disappear and somebody might react in that way. And because you mentioned it was a lot of you, sometimes that goes overlooked and it's not on purpose. And then they go to school missing you or missing a parent. It's a lot of dynamics that goes with trying to bring out the best in a child. A lot of times as adults, we sometimes forget what we went through. We just want a child to act right. And you might get that kid that's going to challenge you. My biggest challenges were at the crisis center because these were kids that their parents had to actually call the cops and bring them to us. And I remember one young lady coming in and she was dressed to the nine, looked like she didn't want for anything. She had on Jordans, fresh Jordans, hair was done. And I said, why are you here? Yeah, I had to do paperwork on her. And the reason why she didn't want to, why she was there is because, she wanted to run away with her boyfriend, 16 years old. And I said, I'm going to give you a teachable moment. You don't need to be here. Here, you have a flat bed, no TV, no phone. We took everything from them when they come in there. And I said, you have to think about what you're about to swap out. So, we take their clothing, everything. I gave her time to think about it. I said, you go spend your first night by yourself. And when you're in that room, you need to get to know God because it looks like your mom takes really good care of you. Her mom ended up, getting her out. And I ran into her a year later, didn't recognize her. And she came to me and she said, I really want to thank you for that talk. It's really about just trying your best. And I know as adults, we get caught up in our everyday life. The bills don't stop and the drama tends to increase. But if we can take that 15 minutes to see what's going on in your child's life, you could possibly be saving your child or your child's friend. I remember I couldn't go to everybody's house, but if your child has a friend, you speak life into them too. It's always a child that's hungry, and it might be a reason why they like hanging out at that house. So you ladies hit some valid points as well, but it's really about the youth and getting into the little you in them. If you were bad, you probably know why they bad. If they like to fight, you was probably a fighter and something triggered you. So you have to identify with these kids. And I'm telling you, a lot of these kids now are in their 20s and they run up to me, grown, have jobs, and it feels good to know that you placed a positive nugget in these kids.
Oh my gosh. Oh my, I could just listen to you talk for like hours.
Thank you.
No, because seriously,
Very
you
beautiful.
can tell that you literally have a heart for these kids. Like, you're not just going to work, you're not just volunteering, you're not just dealing with kids. Like, you care about these kids. Like, and that's amazing. And that's literally what, when they are nurtured for it and cared for, and like you said, just showing attention, now, then we prevent so much, because we know the saying, hurt people hurt people. You have a lot of adults, 20s, 30s, 40s, some even 50s, who are the unpleasant or dysfunctional or whatever adults because of things that they experienced as a child. You know what I mean? And because nobody took the time out to do what you're taking the time out to do in kids that are not yours. But that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, it doesn't have to be your child. Like you said, your child's friend. You know what I mean? So what you're doing, literally, like, it reminds me, too much. I don't even want to be wrong. What was the, remember is it Train Up a Child? I believe it's Train Up a Child. Is that the name of the daycare?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a daycare owner, and her daycare was called Train Up a Child. And literally what she was doing, it was more than a daycare. She was instilling values and principles and things in these kids. And I'm like, you're changing the world. You're changing the world by what you're doing in these young kids, because they're going to grow up and be a certain type of person. You know what I mean? And a lot of us, as adults, we have to reverse. We got to go back and we got to do some healing and some patching up, and because we've got all this trauma for us to get right. But what you're doing, it's funny, because once upon a time God gave me, prevention is better than repair. You are doing the prevention. You are preventing these
Thank
kids
you.
trauma. You are preventing these things things that we need to, be healed from, and things like that. You're preventing all those things. So God bless you. And
Thank you.
seriously.
And I know you guys are wrapping up, but if I can say just a quick story to anyone who is listening. I too was bullied. And like I said, I root for the underdog, which was me. And I try to understand the bully for this reason only. When I entered the ninth grade as a bright-eyed freshman in high school, I had a first period teacher, and I remembered her. She had transferred over from my eighth grade. And I was so excited to see her. Here I am, happy ninth grader, naive, had all these grown folks. Well, they weren't, they looked grown to me. I ran into my first bully. And this young man called me every name imaginable. He called me ugly. He called me fat. Anything you wanted to know, any bad words you've ever said, he called me that. This was first period. So I went to her in confidence and I said, please help. I had tears in my eyes. It started affecting me. We call it depression, but it affected me greatly. I couldn't sleep. I started going to her every morning. Every morning I made it a point to get there before anybody else and physically cry. The one thing I would like to express to everybody is I got told, girl, y'all gonna end up married one day. He just likes you. Can we please, please, please dispel that? If a young man is mistreating you, that someone likes you. This young man called me the B word. He called everything. And these grown people told me he liked me. So this is what caused my low self-esteem to kick in. Nobody saved me. I went to that teacher several times and nobody saved me. And I hear older people say now, oh, they just like you. We need to dispel that. We need to handle that, because anybody, even if it's a young lady hitting on a young guy or calling him names, let's get that out of the system, that if someone is mistreating you the way I was mistreated, that they like you. That is the opposite of that. And I went to her continuously. So if I could say anything else, let's raise these young babies in saying mistreatment is just exactly what it is. We're not going to paint it up. We're not going to make it seem pretty. That sent me through a lot. And like I said, I'm in my 40s and I still deal with that. So I know we closing up, but I just wanted to put that out there. Let's tell our babies it's called bullying.
Seriously, y'all were 14, not 3. Like, come on. That don't mean he like you. Like, if he could say all those words and
absolutely.
He's old enough to walk, talk, spit, cuss, spell.
Yeah.
Come on, like there's a different. Oh my.
But even at 3, we have to. That's what I mean, and I get it, and we can say almost 100% they were not intentionally doing it, but things like that. Yes. We were taught very dysfunctional cycles.
Yes.
We were taught things that were not normal, okay? And like you said, Quisha, and you grow up thinking, hey, that's true.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And no, that's not normal. That's dysfunction. Those are dysfunctional cycles, but that's what they were taught. And we pass these things down to our children. We have to stop that. So thank you, because yes, if you guys don't get anything from this, yes, and normalizing just anything, even down to kids gonna be kids.
Mm.
No,
Right.
no, don't just
Because what
push
does
through
that
one side.
mean?
Thank you.
Adults can't even just be adults. Like, you
But like,
can't keep stamping things on things. You just can't. You literally
yeah,
can't, because when you're put in situations, like, even as adults, you can come out childish, doing childish things, and then it's like, now what you gonna say?
Right.
Am I being an adult, or am I being a child? But it's like, what are you? Are you an adult, or are you a child? Yes, a child should stay in a child's place, but come on, how are they gonna even learn how to be a child if all they seeing is this grown folk activity? Hear all this grown folk things. Like,
That's right.
come on.
and
They
remember
don't
one
look like that. They're sponges.
thank you.
Sponges.
And when you think, and remember once upon a, so Keisha, I'm 38. Remember once upon a time when the adults was sitting in the kitchen at the table? Wasn't no kids coming in that
That's
kitchen?
right.
Nope. I
Y'all,
remember too. I'm 23.
y'all was
Yeah.
sitting in the living room.
Yeah.
We wasn't sitting around just able to just sit around and listen to anything. And again, benefit of the doubt, I don't think anybody is doing these things just carelessly. Some may, but for the most part, but that's where it goes into just being more mindful. Because
Yeah.
just having any type of conversation around kids, and it's like, oh, they playing, they not paying attention. Oh, you think so? I bet you your child can go to school the next day and tell everything that y'all talking about. It's not funny. I remember my sister and my sister friend, she was a teacher's aide. And she was like, girl, the things that these kids come to the school, you know, my mom and her boyfriend and my mommy. And she said, I would be telling, you know, like, baby, let's, you know, trying to redirect, like, hey, let's color. She said, because the things that these kids would just be repeating, and you think they're not paying attention. Yes, they are. And like you said, they're sponges and they're not just sucking it in. It is a Mary's laughing, but seriously, like, yeah, they are sucking it in, and we become a product of our environment.
I like how
Yes.
Yeah.
Keisha got the strength up even after everything that she endured through childhood to be
No,
able to work with
seriously.
these kids and help break those generational curses so that the people aren't growing up in the same footsteps as what they went through. So
Yeah,
that's very good that she was able to get the courage to be able to do that.
Thank you. Kids kind of fell into my lap. I was always running from them. But when I got the opportunity, I was like, But when I got that opportunity, I always saw myself. It was always a little chubby girl, or, it was always a little quiet boy. And I eventually just was like, you know what? I see myself in these kids, and nobody fought for me. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I even spoke to principals, and I just wanted to be there for them, because sometimes that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
absolutely. And one person, and again, just thank you for being that one person. Seriously,
Yeah. For real.
seriously.
And
Thank
I,
you,
I
Miss
appreciate
Keisha.
it. You know what? We're all a community. And if nobody gets anything out the message, just check in on your kids, because they have become very quiet, very withdrawn, and you don't always know what they're doing. Sometimes you can take it as an attitude, and it's really them deep thinking about ending their life. Suicide rate is very high, and it started with 9-year-olds. So, we have to just check in, embrace, talk to them. And then eventually those will become memories for them to pass on to their children.
Absolutely. Well, again, Keisha, thank you so much for just coming on here and blessing us with the gift that is you. Ladies, we are wrapping up another
Amazing.
show.
Amazing.
Yes. This was awesome. This was truly awesome.
Amazing.
Well, Tamores, you want to rock us on out?
Yes, guys. Just a keynote. Remember that your children are not idiots, okay? They are not dumb. And sometimes, just like us adults, it's easier to conversate converse and talk it over with the stranger than it is with family. So even though they might be shutting you out, it may not be your fault and it may not be what you were doing, but just somebody, maybe they have just too much respect for you and need to talk to somebody else, but that's okay because they will come around. Speaking from experience. We lit, we laugh, be true, be you, and rock
Yeah.
truth.
See y'all.